Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video, and today we're going to be going into extreme detail about how I made this mask. Now, if you haven't seen my first video on me making this mask, go check it out up here. For all of you that want to know exactly how to make one, I'll show you how. So for the main foundation of the mask, I used a $1 Jason mask from Walmart. You can get these pretty much anywhere, but they're $1 at Walmart and you can't really beat that. You can also make normal Jason masks with them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start off with is the mouth pieces, I guess. That's what technically what they are. These are pretty complicated, but you want to get yourself 5 clothes hangers that are metal like these, so you can take them apart and bend them into the shape that you want. That's the first thing you're going to do. Then get some duct tape and wrap the duct tape around the mouthpieces. And I would definitely use black duct tape because the duct tape does kind of flex and that makes the spray paint crack. So I use black. And this is the spray paint I used. It's a gray primer. Works pretty good too. But it's the spray paint I used and that worked out pretty good. You see the outside one. Now for the hinges on the mouth. Basically, there's 3 zip ties on every single hinge. And there's 1 zip tie here, 1 zip tie that's holding it down, and 1 zip tie on the back. I'll have to go in for a real close-up view of that because it is pretty hard to see, but that basically, the zip ties keep them from moving in and out and sliding around, and they also are the hinge for the mask at the same time. And you want to make your mouth so the hanger, it hinges right here and it goes back and it reaches across, and that's for both sides. So you can take your rubber band and wrap it around that metal piece and then take a zip tie, drill a hole through the mask, as you can see like I did there. And you want to take the zip tie, take the rubber band and zip tie that rubber band so it can go back. It's pretty complicated and I'm doing my best to explain it, but I'm going to get a close-up on the hinge so you guys can understand that. Okay, so here's the hinge. So as you can see, there's a zip tie. If you look close, you can see a zip tie right here. Zip tie tied right around there. The zip tie right here. This is the hinging zip tie. So that's the zip tie that basically secures it to the mask. And there's also a zip tie back here too. And that's these 2 zip ties here. They're to prevent the mouthpieces from sliding. They basically just keep the hinge piece right in here in the center. So for the teeth, I use this awesome material. It's called Instamorph. It's a like a moldable plastic. You just put it in hot water and all the beads they melt together and you can form whatever you want out of them. And they're just the perfect material for the teeth. Here's the teeth. As you can see, they all look about the same, but basically you want to make strips, just long, thin strips, and you want to cut triangles and then bend them, and that'll be your teeth. Okay, hot glue is a really, really big part of this project too. As you can see, this is all hot glue. All the teeth are glued on with hot glue. Now, what I did with the hot glue, once I got all the teeth glued into place, I put a bunch of it on top and then kind of ran it through and made it look like gums, basically. And I did a lot of hot glue for here too. For this project, I would get at least 100 4-inch zip ties. The paint I used to paint all the mouth parts of the mask, I used red and black acrylic paint. With the fishing line, make sure you tie it around the clothes hanger so it doesn't rip that duct tape. But make sure to tie it good because I had one of these snap and I had to redo the whole thing. And it does take some trial and error to get this fishing line to all line up correct. Use some strong fishing line because you do not want this stuff to snap. It sucks redoing. For the pole handle, I just used some paracord. You don't have to use that, but it's just what I used. For the back of the mask, I kept a long piece of leather, as you can see. So when I pull the mask, it doesn't pull down because I can pull this back string and I can pull it so the mask doesn't pull down. I'll show you in a second what that looks like. I also use Chicago screws. They just kind of screw into each other instead of rivets so I can adjust it. So for the face, I got a bit more texture out of it because I sprayed on this spray-on Bondo, and that worked pretty well. It's definitely not, you don't have to do it, but it definitely does help. Just don't put a ton on because it will make it a lot heavier if you do. Now, if I could redo this mask, I would definitely move this mouthpiece up a bit, and I would also build it up a lot more, like half an inch more. And then I would cover this whole side with this black material here. These are just pantyhose, they're black pantyhose, and just cover the whole inside. Don't even paint it black, but cover the whole inside of the mouth with the black pantyhose. That will create an effect that looks like it has some depth to it, and you can't see the eye holes, which that really gives it away, that you don't really feel that this mask is actually a mouth because you see these eye holes, and I think that would really create some depth and make it seem more real. Okay, so put it on just like this. Back. And as I pull the mouth closed, I hold this to keep it from pulling down. So. Oh, and by the way, your rubber bands will break over time. Yeah, rip. Also, this mask probably hasn't been used in a while too. So how I repair the rubber bands is I just go in here. And I cut the zip tie. Then you want to get yourself a rubber band.